state's attorney's office at all to further their own ends?
Looking back, there's no question. At the time, we didn't think of it that way. We received information from the FBI about some illegal activity. We obtained a search warrant. The police officers went in and served the search warrant.
Is it possible that the FBI used local law enforcement to do some of their dirty work?
Well, I don't know if it was exactly dirty work, but let's just say that they probably didn't want to get involved in it, and they used local law enforcement. There's no question they did.
Isn't it true that your men usually use tear gas in situations such as this, and why didn't they use it this time?
No, that is not true.
It's not true?
They came with murder on their mind.
Heard knock on the door. We said, they told us to open up. And my partner said, just a minute, he got up. And the next thing I knew, they had busted into the door. They came in shooting. They shot Lee, they shot Mark Scott.
The best account that I can give is the room that I was in, and the actions of things surrounding me personally, you know. First thing I remember when I woke up was a knock on the door, and it was only a matter of seconds. In fact, I say it was less than 5 seconds that I heard, you know, shots. Now, the thing that struck me was that I not only heard shots, but I could see plaster coming out of the walls in my room. So I knew the bullets were coming through the room that I was in. I was hit 5 times. I was hit 2 times in the stomach, 1 time in the leg, and I was hit braids in each hand.
Someone came into the room, started shaking the chair. The chairman, wake up, pig was back. Still half asleep. I looked up and I saw bullets coming from, it looked like the front of the apartment, from the kitchen area. They were, pigs were just shooting. And about this time, I jumped on top of the chair. He looked up. Looked like all the pigs burst at the entranceway to the bedroom area, back bedroom area. The mattress is just going, you could feel bullets going into it. I just knew he was dead, everybody in there. When he looked up, he didn't say a word, he didn't move, except for moving his head up. He laid his head back down. Side like that. He never said a word, he never got up out the bed. The person who was in the room, they kept hollering out, stop shooting, stop shooting. We have a pregnant woman, a pregnant sister in here. At the time, I was 8 1/2 to 9 months pregnant. My baby was to be delivered in 2 weeks. Pigs kept on shooting. So I kept on hollering out. Finally, they stopped. They pushed me and the other brother by the kitchen door and told us to face the wall. Heard the pig say, he's barely alive, he'll barely make it. I assumed they were talking about Cherry Fred. Then they started shooting the pigs, they started shooting again. I heard the sister scream. They stopped shooting. Pig said, he's good dead now. Pigs running around laughing, they were really happy, you know. Talking about Chairman Fred's dead. I never saw Chairman Fred again.
Before you go to bed tonight, I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it, and you might end up in what they call it, revolutionary happy hunting ground. I believe that I'm going to do my job. I believe that I was born not to die in a car wreck. I don't believe I'm going to die in a car wreck.
That's our bed and Chairman Fred's blood on the mattress.
I don't believe I'm going to die because I got a bad heart. I don't believe I'm going to die because of lung cancer. I believe that I'm going to be able to die what I was given to the state that I was born from. I believe that I'm going to be able to die high off of it. You might murder a freedom fighter like Bobby Hutton, but you can't murder freedom fighter.
As chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Fred was responsible for given leadership so that the survival programs could be set up in communities across the city. In Chicago alone, we fed over 3,000 children per week, and that was even before the city had established a free breakfast or a free lunch program. He grabbed this young brother, Doc Satchel, and pulled him into the party, and Doc became the deputy minister of health for the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. And under Chairman Fred's leadership, was able to set up a medical center in Lawndale. You know, just about every year, they pick the poorest community in any given city. At this time, Lawndale was supposed to be the most poor, the most depressed, the most oppressed, jobs, lack of jobs, crime, all of this sort of thing. And Ronald Doc Satchel, under Chairman Fred's leadership, in Lawndale set up the Spurgeon J. Winters Free Medical Center and brought attention to a disease called sickle cell anemia that wasn't part of the medical training at that time, but because of the work of the Black Panther Party and really impacting on the testing for this disease, which just thousands of black people were dying from, it allowed this testing and training to be able to detect sickle cell as part of medical training.
Some of the things, attributes of Chairman Fred that many people may not know or even understand the depthness was probably, how could I best say, is not appreciated in its full depth. His objectivity, also Chairman Fred's ability to form principal coalitions. Man, a lot of times we hear about Chairman Fred's ability to organize the street organizations, what we refer to as unpoliticized street tribes. We've seen such case examples is how when the federal government, the FBI, major police force in this country, had attempted to get the vice lords to stop the Black Panther Party from organizing one of their survival programs at the Free Medical Center. And Chairman Fred's ability to win these brothers and sisters to a point of unity. Subsequently, when the Vice Lords ended up working at the Free Medical Center, to even politicize the formerly known devil disciples to a point of unity. They later renowned themselves the Black disciples. In their words, due to political education they received from Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party, and a group of poor whites who identified themselves as young patriots. He brought these forces to some form of political unity in the Puerto Rican organization, Young Lords. He did when it was a revolutionary act.
So a simple thing as people setting up or beginning to run the breakfast programs after the Black Panther Party set them up, gave people a stake in their own struggle for liberation. So Chairman Fred was a shining example of this. A lot of people that met him and knew him or seeing him the first time, seeing him speak, seeing how he solved problems, know that he was 200% committed to the freedom and liberation of the people. There has been a lot of movement, discussion around this whole piece of naming a street, the 2300 block of West Monroe in Chicago, Chairman Fred Hampton Way. What difference would it make if a street is named after Chairman Fred Hampton? They name streets after Reverend so-and-so and, record artists, just anybody. In Chicago, anybody can have a street name. But all of this uproar about a street being named Chairman Fred, it makes you wonder and look back at how much they have attempted to totally obliterate our history or any semblance of resistance and struggle. See, when you talk about Chairman Fred Hampton, you have to talk about a period of resistance that existed, and some of us lived during that period. It's a period when, it destroys the myth of a happy slave on a plantation. It destroys the myth of we've accepted the brutal conditions that we're forced to live under and never said anything. It's something that happened back in the day, but it's close enough in memory to be a shining example of resistance, of organization, of bringing people together to participate in their own fight for liberation and freedom. And this is a bad symbol, according to the state.
prayed for Sister Madeline Haycock. We want to thank her for her creativity and her sensitivity.
Myself and Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., who chairs the Prisoners of Conscience Committee, we authored the wording and we submitted the proposal to Alderwoman Madeline Haycock because 2300 West Monroe is in her aldermanic district. So we introduced this to her, and Chairman Fred Jr. met with her, and she said she would be glad. This would be a great thing for, you know, young people to know something about Black history that, you know, impacted on the whole world. We appreciate any and everybody that is going to support this proposal. And people will come forth to support for their own reasons. But we will fight to defend the legacy of Chairman Fred. He's not going to be watered down to a civil rights leader or somebody that would have been a preacher or whatever. Chairman Fred was a revolutionary.
We don't care who it is.
Come on, sister. Come on, He's so right.
He was assassinated because he was a revolutionary, and he made it very clear what his occupation was. He's a revolutionary. So it's important that we make sure we fight for this and we maintain it, and regardless of somebody trying to go through the grace of, we just change this, get around with this history.
Not be watered down.
Oh, no.
Man, the cousin, the whole, man, this is election.
We got an election, we got all kinds of elections coming out of this March 21st elections. And then we're going to get into the mayoral and aldermanic elections. We're going to tariffs on food, duct, winter bathrooms.
In theory and in practice, he was consistent about, we don't do it, go to the same state that's attacking us to say, okay, well, this is my wife, this makes my relationship valid, this makes my organization valid, this makes my title valid. The people said it. You know what I'm saying? It was official. So again, to put that in its correct context, when they done it, and sometimes if you're not careful with legacies, you can get mixed up with what you define as revolutionary, what's not revolutionary. He's moving revolutionary moves. The Chairman Fred, his organization was involved in. Right.